So we're going to start with a little follow along spinal flow. First of all, what I'd like you to do is ground into your feet. So we're going to spread the toes out. This is great to be done barefoot, and even better if you can be outdoors in nature. Spread the feet on the ground wherever you are. Feel free to close the eyes here because it can help us engage our senses through the sensations of the skin on the earth. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just relax the body, relax the muscles, and notice anywhere where you may have been holding some tension. So we commonly see the quads and the glutes be quite actively switched on, even when we don't mean to. Or the stomach bracing, or the jaw, the face. So just spend a minute feeling the ground underneath your feet and switching off any kind of muscle tension, tightness that you may be feeling. Eyes can be opened or closed. Feel free to move however you like to help facilitate this. Using the breath as we inhale, filling up as we exhale, softening tension, relaxing. Now I want you to start finding some structural integrity in our bones. So finding your feet, your legs, your pelvis, your spine. This should help restore a little bit of length, because sometimes when we say soften and relax, it can create a little bit of a lag in our posture. So we want soft muscle tissue but integrity in our skeletal structure, our bones. Now once we've done that, we're going to go hand on the bottom of your rib cage. So just here in our solar plexus, one palm, and one palm up here underneath our collarbones. Close down the eyes if you'd like, or keep the eyes open because you want to watch me on the screen. Either way, we want to feel the collarbones, feel the ribs, and we're just going to start to dance in both directions, in any direction rather. So I can bring my hands closer together, I can work on spreading them, pushing one to the side and letting the other one follow. Be really intuitive with how you would like to move, but with the focus on these 2 points, dancing around each other in any way that feels good. Allowing the rest of the body to come with. Finding any nice spaces that feel good to stretch. It might not be around where your hands are. For example, I feel a lot in my calves and my glutes as I kind of bend into these odd shapes. But just keep this focal point of being the hands weaving and moving, arching and extending. That's guiding your movement, directing your movement, but the mind, the awareness is on what sensations am I feeling. Do I feel a stretch? It's very normal to get any pops or cracks in your spine, especially if you haven't moved much today. Now you can move the hands if you're starting to get a hang of this, or it just feels nice to drop them and relax them. And I want to keep this idea that we're moving the thoracic spine. So if you can picture your spinal column from the tailbone all the way up to where the head sits, each vertebrae is a joint and it's designed to move. Sure, each one can move to a different degree, but I want you to kind of focus on this thoracic region. So pretty much if you place your hands around the bottom of your ribs, all the way up to where this bony bit is at the back of our neck, that is our thoracic spine. And that's where I'm wanting to direct movement. Opening through the chest, rounding through the back. Allowing the head to feel like it's just following along and flopping. And the legs are supporting the motions of the upper back. By stepping if you need to, shifting the weight, bending the legs. going to shift gears a little bit and guide the movement now from our head. So we're still moving the spine, but the head itself is going to be weaving in more a snake-like manner. We can do waves, so diving forward, lifting up, tucking in. Or weaving to the side. It really doesn't matter. Let this be completely your own, as large or as small as you would like to make it, but weaving with the head and letting the rest of the spine just follow. Now I want you to slowly start to make these oscillations and these waves that you're doing smaller and smaller. But take your time, just as if we were fading out a song. Slowly over the next 60 seconds, you're going to fade out your movement. Slowly making the curves a little smaller, the speed a little softer. And bringing ourselves back to standing. We kind of still feel like our head just really isn't quite ready to stop yet. So it's weaving, it's moving, and still rippling through. Keeping the spinal cord alive. And bringing ourselves back to standing. The head should now still have an upward direction, so pulling us tall, while our feet have this nice grounding feeling to them, so gripping the floor, not by squeezing, but by kind of pressing and activating the feet downward. Closing down the eyes again, and just feel the body. Deep breath in. Relax the body and exhale. Breathe in. And now with our eyes still closed, just tune into the pelvis. And without tilting it, so we're not looking for any posterior or anterior tilt. I just want you to feel like it's a boat floating on water, floating on a really still lake. And the tailbone is just kind of floating around above the heels. And you're circling and moving and speculating, where does the middle feel? Where does my whole structure feel balanced? Based on where I'm choosing to hold my pelvis. So we find a lot of lower back tension simply comes from having our pelvis a little bit too far forward or something like this. So as we float back, we should feel like this engagement, this lift up through the spine, especially after all that nice spinal movement that we've just done. We're able to hold our spinal column in a more appropriate position that allows us to generate energy in our movement. So as you stand there, it's just a speculation, floating forward, floating backward, drawing little figure eights and deciding, where do I feel most in balance today? And then once you find that spot, we're going to take 10 breaths in your own time. With each inhale, our head floating up like a helium balloon. And with each exhale, our feet grounding into the floor. continue to lift through the back of the head. So our chin's tucked in slightly. Our stomach is relaxed. Our arms long and fingers just gently touching our thighs. And if you're enjoying this standing meditation, just stay here for as long as you like, or as long as you can, before the kids, the pets, the husbands, whoever might come and interrupt. Enjoy just standing and being with the body in balance. Enjoy.